What's something completely wrong that's now widely accepted? Story 1. Spam email. We ignore it. It's just there. But it shouldn't be. Opinion. I have never understood why spam mailers mail you their scams more than once though. If I didn't fall for the email once, what makes them think I am going to if they just keep sending me variations of it over and over? Story 2. Employers expecting employees to check emails while outside of work. Opinion. F that. When I'm finished for the day, I am finished. Story 3. Plastic everything packaged in more plastic. Opinion. It's pretty incredible that we've invented this nigh-indestructible material that's cheap and easy to produce, and we use it primarily to making disposable garbage. Story 4. Well, I'm not sure if it's actually wrong, but needing a few years of experience for an entry-level job just sounds pretty wrong to me. Opinion. Every company says, if you don't have any experience, don't even apply. Then they complain, young people are so lazy, they don't want to work. Story 5. A job making you a seasonal or part-timer, but works you at least 40 hours per week, never giving you full-time wage or insurance. Opinion. There are two ways that businesses makes money: by how much they can charge their customers and by how little they can pay their employees. Story 6. Harvesting as much data as possible. You have to go to some extreme lengths to prevent your personal information from being sent to random strangers you have never met. Opinion. What bothers me is how indifferent some people are about their privacy, with the I have nothing to hide mentality when it comes to their personal information. Story 7. Social media addiction. Opinion. Especially when it comes to kids. I see children as young as 6 glued to their phones all day, and I can't help but worry they'll face significant challenges later in life because of it. Story 8. Does anyone else think it's weird that we all know that our clothes, electronics, and pretty much anything else we buy is made by sweatshops or literally slave labor, and everyone seems to be fine with it? Edit. Wow. I didn't expect so many people to read and respond. To everyone saying there's nothing average people can do about it or asking me what average people can do about it, there are a few simple things you can do. Shop less. Don't buy things you don't need. Shop secondhand. Take care of the things you do have and make them last. Write your legislators and corporations themselves and let them know that what they're doing is not okay. Not everyone can be perfect and do everything, but everyone can do something. Opinion. Yes, and what's worse, I don't think most people are actually fine with it. I think they just don't know what they're supposed to do. Story 9. Having no regard for your mental health or peace of mind in the name of hustling. Funnily enough, having no work-life balance is flaunted. Opinion. Who do they think they're impressing by destroying themselves like this? Story 10. Bosses threatening your job or hours if you calling sick or use vacation time at inconvenient times. Opinion. Not to mention requiring a doctor's note when the job doesn't even provide healthcare. Story 11. Unpaid internships are incredibly wrong. Opinion. What's even worse? Paying for an internship. Story 12. This has changed a lot since the thing that happened in 2019, I'm assuming. But people going to work when they're sick. Not sure what it's like in the rest of the world, but I feel like in the US we've been conditioned to feel like it's worse to be an inconvenience by not showing up to work than going to work sick, miserable, and getting everyone else sick. Edit. Just wanted to add, I am not trying to attack those who can't afford to take time off. I absolutely understand that that's a reality for a lot of people. I get that many times there is no good choice. There are also times when paid sick time is available, but workers are forced into feeling like they can't take time off, or honestly think their place of work can't survive without them. That's BS. Opinion. It's even worse in a lot of places. In my country, for example, you will either not get paid or be straight up fired. So you're basically forced to work when you're sick. Story 13. Multi-level marketing company groups that target women who peaked in high school and college and lure them to think it will make them boss babes by harassing their personal connections and contacts about leggings, candles, skincare, nails, supplements. Opinion: multi-level marketing. So this is what they're calling pyramid schemes now? Story 14. Cost of higher education. Opinion: and not just the initial costs. The scam on books is despicable. Story 15. Using your children to become an influencer. I have an Instagram page where I share play ideas as an educator, but my kids' faces are never in the photos. I won't mention their names either. So many parents with similar accounts are posting daily numerous photos and videos of their kids to thousands of followers and getting them involved in live feeds and stories. We have got a generation of kids who in 10 to 15 years' time will have their entire childhood documented online, and it will all have been done without their consent. Edit. Thank you so much for all the upvotes and awards. I am just glad to see it isn't just me, as Insta seems to be full of oversharing mums. I was beginning to think it is just me who treats my children like they are in the witness protection scheme. Opinion: it's already happening. I just saw a post on a subreddit about a teenager or young adult confronting their influencer blogger mom about not wanting to be a part of it anymore. It was really sad. She said that everyone she meets can find her entire life online. Story 16. Maybe this is just a me thing, but as someone who is adopted, I am really bothered by adoptive parents who lie to their kids. I think starting your relationship with your child based on a lie is completely wrong, and it will come back to bite you later. Unfortunately, some parents who cannot biologically have children will choose to supplement this by adopting a kid and telling that kid they gave birth to them. This needlessly stigmatizes adoption by making it a shameful secret, while also making sure that if this child finds out later in life, they will resent their parents 100% and never trust them again. It's just awful. My parents were completely transparent with me from a very young age, and I grew up well. I love my parents and personally have no desire to ever meet my biological mother. Every adopted kid is different, but they all deserve to be told the truth. Opinion: I don't think they hide the truth because of stigma, but rather to show love and prevent the kids from feeling abandoned. Story 17. Advertisement. Everything consists of it. We have two products, made in the same place. One gets a tiny print on it that you also see in advertisements, and suddenly the item costs 250 euros instead of 30 euros. Just imagine what we pay for marketing. Most of the money we pay for well-known products like Apple goes into marketing. So you don't pay for quality or the product itself, but for the status. Also, just calculate how much of the money you spent in a week goes into marketing. Then calculate how many minutes you spend a week looking at advertisements. You'll know how much money you spend for every hour of your life wasted on advertisements. Literally the craziest system ever, and it's getting worse and worse every minute. I don't know how people without ad blockers survive, and I don't understand how mobile games that are 90% ads are always at the top of the app markets. I wish for a world where advertising becomes something true to itself again and isn't all about being seen. And just now, my friend bought a cheap mattress. He's seen in an advertisement. How much of the money he spends on that product went into the product itself and how much into marketing. I bet his mattress seems great for a few weeks and then becomes a real struggle. Opinion: just advertising in general. Imagine how quiet your mind and life would be without any of it. Story 18. Twitter. Think about it. As an older guy thinking back to my school days, if you'd walked up to someone in the playground or college and just insulted them like that, you would have gotten beaten up. If you walked up to anyone in the street and did the same would happen. Twitter, as useful as it can be, has created an entire generation of people who feel emboldened to say whatever they want without facing any real consequences. They have never had to deal with the fallout of their words, never being held accountable for acting like jerks in society, and haven't faced any repercussions for their comments. Most people use their phones in their toilet. I do too. And it's becoming clear that it's possible for someone to insult an entire group of people while literally pulling down their pants and wiping. This is wrong. It doesn't matter who you're attacking or why. This shouldn't be normal. And it's leading to a new group of people who think their opinions matter more than they really do. They don't. Not unless someone asks for it. Throwing insults at a digital wall in the hope something will stick is just bizarre. Would you stand on the street and shout at the top of your lungs, "You're awful," just hoping someone will hear? No, at least not if you're rational. Twitter is like a raincoat people wear to lash out in public without consequences, being randomly nasty, making comments you would never make in person, and having a little device in your pocket that lets you ruin someone's day instantly is just strange. I don't think people should be held accountable for everything they've ever said. Not at all. People grow and change. But it shouldn't be this easy to attack others without any real reason or responsibility. I know people can be rude online, PlayStation, Xbox, etc. And when I was a kid, it was knocking on doors and running away or drawing silly things. I'm not saying people won't always be a bit rude, but having a platform that's become so toxic and hostile, and one that's known for it, still being a part of most people's daily lives, that's just wrong. What has become so widespread that it's not considered wrong anymore? Being a jerk. For no reason other than you felt like it. Opinion. Not just that, but the attention validates and emboldens them to push the edge. But at the same time, I am pro free speech, and if you think Twitter is a cesspool, then just don't go there. Why would you waste precious time of your life going to a place that makes you feel bad? Story 19. Our education system, forcing kids to start school younger and younger, demanding they sit at desks for hours a day, and then diagnosing them with ADHD because they can't keep still, prioritizing academia over all else, forcing young people to specialize early, making it harder for them to gain transferable skills, and leaving them stuck in one industry, an education system that is geared towards churning out drones to enter the workforce, private schools with a one-way track to universities where they hold blackmail parties, so they control your narrative when you enter politics or power. State schools where you're told to sit down, shut up, and do as you're told, to prepare you for employment. This idea is that self-worth and success are defined by financial and career success. If you are neurodiverse, you're effed. If you were mistreated as a child, you're effed. And most of all, nobody cares because if you just worked hard enough, you could succeed like everybody else too. Opinion. The education system pushes kids into one-size-fits-all paths, ignores neurodiversity, and focuses more on fitting them into the workforce than actually helping them grow. Success feels like it's all about money and status. Story 20. Being proud of and bragging about not getting enough sleep, as if it's some sort of virtue, has become oddly normalized. In today's culture, people wear exhaustion like a badge of honor, boasting about how little rest they get in order to appear more dedicated, hardworking, or important. It is as if sacrificing sleep is a sign of strength or success, when in reality, it's just a sign of poor self-care. Instead of acknowledging the importance of balance and rest, there's this unhealthy glorification of being perpetually busy and overworked, as though running on empty is something to admire. It's frustrating to see this mentality being celebrated, especially when the true cost is ignored: burnout, health problems, and the lack of productivity in the long run. Opinion. or working yourself till you are burned out. Like if you're not giving it 100% all the time, you are lazy. And when you finally crash and burn due to lack of sleep and exhaustion from working constantly, you are not hard enough. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the bell button to receive notifications to my latest videos.